Good morning, folks. Beautiful Thursday day for our gut club. And as usual, I'm reflecting on my yesterday and what has really happened today, which you really cannot call reflection. It is anticipation with a lot of hope, but I'm ready for any surprise that might come along. Like I found a small tiny spider this morning, which would have freaked out my kids and my wife, but I really don't dislike any creature. My wife freaks out whenever she's a snake because apparently she feels very uneasy. Now the phobia to snake, interestingly, is evolutionary because our grandfathers, great to the power whatever, told us whenever you see these wriggly creatures, stay away. So this fish is called koi, and I'm mixing a very Bengali Indian fish with a very Italian stuff here, as you can see. My job is to make protein play dance with vegetables and fat and stay away from all this stuff. But do I? I don't. I love sweets. Now I'm going to tell you what are the bad sweets and what are the good sweets. Now, why we love sweets, why our brain is so hardwired, addicted to cookies and stuff. Again, like the scare or fear or dislike for snakes, my wife thinks this fish reminds her of snakes, so she's not going to eat this fish. How terrible is that? This is one of the best nutritious fish that you can ever have. Anyway, so did I pour my coffee? Yes, I did. Now, when you live a life with ADHD and maybe a bit of dyslexia, you need to figure out how to take full advantage of whatever nature or God has given it to you, rather than complaining about your dyslexia. I have got 20,000 unread emails, and my left brain wife and my office colleagues and my son freaks out because my son is very left brain and I'm very right brain. So I can do multiple stuff without much damage to my brain, and that's the benefit, that's the gift that ADHD has got. Whereas what I do, if I ask a left brain to do, they will just be overwhelmed, but we don't. But the problem is that when you couple that with dyslexia, that can become a bit tricky, particularly if you're the lead for the department and your colleagues expect you to read your emails. That becomes even trickier. So we are trying to figure out a solution, and one of the solution is that our manager, assistant manager, and all my colleagues, I'm so grateful to them, if there's really serious email that I need to respond ASAP, they normally take a screenshot without any details of any but just tell Deb, read this email, respond to it. That's kind of the gentle way of telling me off. But I'm working with a blind person who has done her own startup. So this lady, a very known family member, distant, maybe remotely, I found out after many years she went blind when she was only 16 years old from a very rare disease called retinitis pigmentosa. And imagine you are a teenager with full life ahead of you and you're thinking of your life and your dreams and futures, and suddenly doctor tells you that, listen girl, in the next 2 to 3 years you gradually lose your vision completely. And this amazing girl, her name is Shampa, she started a computer company. She's currently probably just around 40ish, and she started a computer company which is doing a real good business and a website, like a software training company. And she reads all her email promptly without any eyes. Just using stuff like apps and software which read aloud, and she is one of the promptest responder to any emails. Sorry, not email, because I don't email her. WhatsApp. And she uses I think Google Lens to tell her what she's looking at or should be looking at. Should he have eyesight? Should she have eyesight? So this is an amazing way the health revolution is happening, and the way you're thinking about brain and eyesight and everything. So I'm going to try to use that so I can um, absorb huge amount of audio data. And if you speak to me, I will remember everything you have said, almost everything. It's never 100%, but if you give me a book or an email, it's difficult for me. Anyway, so try to, if you're sugar craving like I do, try to give your sugar a healthy route, like fruits, dried fruits. Particularly berries are very good, goji berries and strawberries. When you do iftar, you break your fast. The Muslim friends and colleagues of mine, they always go for dates. It's got a lot of fibers in it and very sugary. And these are figs, good for constipation if you have got any, or bowel movement. These have got lots of fibers. Never ever ever drink fruit juice, no matter how much companies like Innocent tells we are very natural. Do not do it. If you have to have juice, make your own juice, and do not throw away the fibers, because without the fiber, a fruit juice becomes pure poison. Because it is pure sugar, it will cause a sugar spike, and that's the way to insulin resistance, pre-diabetes and diabetes. And definitely these are dirty sugar, I call this. However, I love dirty sugars too, and this is something that you have to keep it to very very minimum, like like our ancestors, like 20,000 years ago, suddenly walk into an orchard, no, I mean apple forest, and find some apples and bananas, and they will go crazy. They will eat as much as they can, because they know they're never going to see this in their lifetime, maybe. The scientists have done research with animals, and they have shown that sugar can be as addictive as cocaine. And whenever you are stressed, you will turn to sugar, comfort food. Remember that. So when that does, be prepared. So I always go prepared in the hospital, because hospital work can be a bit overwhelming at times, and you want to eat something, and then I will go for this. So I will always dilute my glucose with, first I don't choose dirty sugar, I choose good sugar. But then I think still the manufacturers mix it up with sugar juice, like additional, and because it tastes more sugary than a normal fruit would. I don't know, if I've got a lot of money, I probably would have done myself, like make my own dry fruit. And anyway, so I to make it more healthy, I will throw some nuts and goji berries and cranberries, and then my favorite fruit in the world, these mangoes. I keep telling my son and daughter that if I'm in a nursing home and I lose my memory, and if I say remember I'm asking for is mango in Bengali, and amasha is diarrhea in Bengali. And when I was a kid, I used to think that if you eat you will have amasha. Means if you eat mango, you will have diarrhea. That's not true. And this is honey, again a natural sugar. So if you have sugar craving, get ready with your natural sugar stuff, and dilute it with yogurt, which is extremely beneficial for health every day, and it will also dampen the sugariness of this drink. So every day when I head out to hospital, I will have this ready sugar fix in case if I need, so that I don't have to eat all the random cookies and stuff that you will see lying around in the office. Very dangerous for your health if your office is doing it every day. And this is my second craving, so whenever I will go for my break, and remember I normally tend not to do more than 3 coffees, so 2 coffees is a must which I drink, not within the first hour, but after first hour waking up. And this is good for brain health, liver health, every single health. And but do not do decaffeinated coffee. Have a proper caffeine. I don't understand why people do decaffeinated coffee. But then maybe one more coffee around 1 o'clock, but no coffee after 3 p.m. Then that ruins your sleep architecture, and it's not good for health. And then I will go for my herbal teas, like a hot water, And yeah, that's it. And when I do that, I will go for some natural savories. So these are again some vegetables. As you can see, guess what is this? Corn, roasted and spiced up. Guess what is this? Bengal grams, roasted and not spiced up. Roasted and spiced up. And this I'm hating, this shell, but I'm taking it as a challenge to test my patience. Like when you're really wanting to, it is slowing you down. And that's the method we should be using for smokers. So if you are a smoker, don't just light up your cigarette when you want to light up. There is a cue. So in any bad habit, we'll have a cue that I'm stressed or somebody told me I've done a lot of work, let me go for a break. So that's your cue. You go out to the forest and there is a smokers club. And if you just walk into that area, you will be engulfed into that smoke. And smoking is the one thing that will age you like 10 years plus. And I can see the nicotine on your face, on your finger, in your lungs, and you will have a dirty lungs, and you will have a really bad time when you are in a nursing home, coughing, drowning in your own sputum and stuff. Don't do this to you. And when you were born, you were not born with a cigarette in your mouth. You just picked it up in your teenage years because you wanted to prove yourself that you're a macho man, or you belong to a gang, or you are somebody, because you equate the smoking with manhood or womanhood or whatever hood. But now you don't need that hood anymore. You have got your own hoodie. So don't smoke. But the way to stop smoking, other than nicotine patch and vape and etc., is delay your smoking. So make layers between your cigarette and your first puff. So take your cigarette in your hand, do not light up, just hold it, feel it. Oh, my cigarette is this long, and it smells like this and that. And then take the lighter, and again, do not light up, hold it. It's called riding the waves. So they say, really, I don't have to smoke right now. I'm just going to do a quick email and then I will smoke. Okay, email gone. And then, do I need to smoke this? Do I? And then you light it up and then look at the fire. Should I? Okay, let's do it. Let's make tiny habits. I was smoking 20 yesterday. Let me smoke today maybe 5. Because if you suddenly try to change your monkey will revolt, and monkey is 7 times more powerful than you, and you will not win. So when your motivation is high, you are making a fresh start in a happy New Year's Day, it will last 20 days, because your self identity is still, I'm a smoker. I go to the woods and I gang up with other smokers, male, female, and we like that friendliness. We like that gossip. So we need to keep that gossip. There is a hospital group on junior doctors called Gossip King, apparently. No, you know what I mean. I'm the only consultant in that group. Can you believe this? Anyway, and I get to know which junior doctor is in love with which doctor and who is giving them hard time, which consultant is really crap, according to their perception, not according to yours, of course. And it just broadens my outlook about how a junior looks up at the senior, like what are the stuff the senior consultant really good, because I know these consultants, they're really good at what they do, but maybe their human interaction skill is not as great as me or somebody else. Coming back to cigarette, so make lots of layers, make your bad habit as difficult. And then, like if you drink alcohol, do not keep the alcohol in your house, keep it in the cold garage, and so that you have to go all the way to find your alcohol. So that's it. So that's my 2 habit that I will go with these 3 when I go to the hospital or anywhere. And now today I'm learning how to revive flowers and how to arrange flowers, called Ikebana. It's a Japanese art, and they normally put flowers in 3 layers thing: heaven, earth, and hell, like underground. So it will be 3 layers. And I'm sorry that I couldn't fill it up. The eggs are finished. My wife told me I have to go to Tesco and get some eggs. So that's my day. So today I'm again on call. I'm getting a ward round. I'm going to teach endoscopy nurses at 8 how to do a peg. then with croissants. No croissants, because trust is feeding us free breakfast today. So I went to canteen yesterday, spoke to the manager, Renault. She said, don't buy croissants. It will cost you £20. Just go for the freebies. I said, fine, but you have to stand in a queue. And then after PEG, I will go to Harvey. I will do my ward round, see a few referrals, set up a family meeting with a son who just wants to know why his mother died, because she was okay. And this is difficult, coming to terms. Your loved ones, your gods and goddesses, fathers and mothers are our gods and goddesses. Suddenly one day your mother, father become ill, went to hospital, and that's it, they're gone. So you just want to know what actually happened. It is not a complaint, it is just, could I have done something different? But that is my own father passed away in hospital, and it's a very complicated emotions. You, at one hand, a consultant, a doctor, a good doctor, a conscientious doctor. At the same time, I'm a son, and I want to save my dad. I don't want my dad to go, but I know how frail he was, and I saw this emotion and this jumping personality between son and doctor. And at one stage, I tried to even do CPR on my father, who, stopped breathing. And then my consultant brain, sorry, I was not consultant, I was a registrar back then, 2008. Then should I do it? Should I do cardiac compression? I said no. Let him go. Let him go. He will be with me, with all the memories, all the teachings, with all the punishments. He taught me how to lead life, and I let him go. So yeah, but every time I do anything good, or people tells me anything good, I think of him. I said, Dad, see what your son has done. Yeah, he was a professor of mathematics in Calcutta, with lots of students who used to love him, like for his teaching methods and skills. Maybe I have inherited some of his. Anyway, so it's 17 minutes, a rather long video. I got a bit emotional. Pardon me. Thank you. Lovely day.